fine with me. There are a couple of times where I think I had some input delay.
There are a couple like times where there's a little bit of input delay if there are too many things trying to like happen, but
Yeah,
it's not very frequent.
yeah. I couldn't really tell if it was more frequent or less frequent than my experiences with Dark Souls One.
I would say
I feel
less
like
frequent.
yeah, they're definitely a lot. The controls are definitely a lot tighter, I think, than Dark Souls Two. Because I remember in Dark Souls Two, there was a part where I was shooting a crystal lizard in like the lava place, and I literally turned around and I fell off the edge because I was at a corner. I'm like, the fuck. But stuff like that didn't happen with me here, as far as I remember.
Yeah.
Um, I it's the roll system seemed a bit more. I guess this is probably true with the first one because you've got your regular roll and then you've got your fat roll and then you've got like your stumble. Um,
Yeah.
um, I feel I think they took away one category from Dark Souls One because I remember Dark Souls One you had like the regular like fast roll, which in all the games is more like a tumble forward, and then in Dark Souls One you had sort of like this slower roll, and then you had your fat roll, and then
I believe there still are the three categories.
yeah, um, I thought it was done pretty. I don't know if because I feel like I might not entirely understand the weight system from Dark Souls One, whereas three I did. Because like if you're under 70%, you'll still
You,
fast roll.
as also going into it, you can't play the game over 70% equipment load.
Yeah,
Like, you do not roll fast enough to get through enemy attacks. You will die each time. Like,
yeah,
if you try to fat roll through this game, you're gonna lose. That's
right.
just, which I think is, I understand what they're trying to go for, which is a faster kind of gameplay after Bloodborne. They're trying to incorporate some of Bloodborne because it was so well received. But
Hmm.
Dark Souls 1, you could fat roll through the game.
Yeah,
Like it didn't matter too terribly much. This game,
right.
you cannot. Like, I mean, if you can, if you time it right, but it's way more difficult, and it's almost not even worth your time.
Yeah. In fact, I think we've talked about this too when we were hanging out. But I think the game is the graphics engine at least, but I think at least for the character creation. But I think the game is using a little bit of the Bloodborne engine. Because I
Yes.
noticed when I was creating my character, the beards they looked a little too fuzzy. I felt like they looked. I felt like the character creation. Uh, we can get into like which one of the three we like the best because I think Dark Souls Three is probably, from what we've heard, is supposed to be the final Dark Souls game at least for a long while.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, according to Miyazaki. I will know in the credits, the Dark Souls, one of the Dark Souls 2 directors, Yui Tenemura, he was also credited as a co-director, so he was still a part of it. And I think they took some stuff I think from Dark Souls 2, really minor things like some weapons and armors, but also um, being able to see your what items you had and like your list of like little items
Yeah.
at the bottom. And I think being able to see your weapon durability on the actual like icon thing as like a little health bar. Um, in terms of, I felt like the enemies in this game, at least early on, and it might have just been because I wasn't because I had played Bloodborne prior, so I was more in that mode. I think where you just dodge all the time. Um, I felt like I felt like in this game enemies they had longer combos and they would follow me for longer. I felt like they were actually legitimately trying to kill me, which I know is kind of weird to say.
Yes, their aggro range is definitely increased. Um, whether as far as long, I feel like the combos are still the same length as longer combos in Dark Souls. It's just there are more enemies that have long combos. Um,
Yeah,
that's how I saw it. There were a lot of more enemies that had longer string combo strings, but at the same time, a lot of those combo strings are very unsafe if you want to try to parry them.
yeah. I felt like the the what would you call it, like medium shield, uh, parry timing seemed to be a bit
It's
different. I
it's it's that you have shorter parry frames in this game with medium
Yeah.
shields than you did in Dark Souls 1. Um, Basically, parry frames all got shortened except for the fist weapon called the Cestus, which they actually increased the parry frames on, I believe, from Dark Souls 1.
Yeah.
Like you can literally, it doesn't matter when you can literally mash the parry button and you'll parry someone with the Cestus. It's real dumb, and I'll get into that with the whole PvP segment. But
Yeah. And I imagine we'll have time to talk about our individual builds and whatnot. Though I know you've changed yours a couple of times. Um,
I like changing things up, so I changed mine a couple of times. But yeah,
yeah. Um, the spells that, from what I saw, like Soul Stream, is that what it's called?
oh the
The,
Kamehameha of this game, yeah, Soul Stream is
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
You
And I really
literally
like.
Stan, you can literally fire Kamehameha.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and
It's really, I mean, it's not like literally Kamehameha, but
it's pretty
Now,
close.
is it a rectally emitted Kamehameha?
no.
Ah.
Technically penile, depending on what kind of thing you're using. Oh, they did brought in the chime thing from Dark Souls 2, along with I actually used a chime for my miracles mainly because I liked the effect they give, because now weapons have like weapon arts or sword arts or whatever you call them.
I'm sorry, hold
Oh,
on. I was looking up Soulstream to try to show
mhm.
Stan exactly what it looks like, and I found a video. It's New Game Plus, all bosses, Soulstream only speed.